Hello, children. Today we are going to read Best Friends in a Fairyland. It's by Daisy Meadows. And this story is about the weather fairies. She's Pearl, the cloud fairy. She's Goldie, the sunshine fairy. This is Storm, the lightning fairy. Haley, the rain fairy. This is Abigail, the breeze fairy. This is Crystal, the snow fairy. And Evie, the mist fairy. It is a brisk fall day in Fairyland. The fairies, the weather fairies, are waiting for Albester, their best friend. They are going to play their favorite game, hide and seek. Albester is a young unicorn. He lives with his herd in the Fairyland forest. Albester loves to play games with the weather fairies. The fairies hear a whinny. "Quick, hide!" whispers Storm. Albester gallops into the orchard. Come out, Albester calls, stamping his hoof. Have you heard the news? The weather fairies speak out from behind the leaves. What news? Haley says. The fairy king and queen are in the forest, the unicorn says. They're picking new unicorns to lead their carriage. Wow, Crystal exclaims. That's an honor. I bet all unicorns want to pull the carriage, Evie adds. Yes, my parents are trying out, Albester says. Do you want to watch? Absolutely, Goldie exclaims. The tryouts are in the clearing, Albester says. Let's go, says Storm. Crystal and Storm fly up ahead, while the other fairies walk with Albester. The king and queen are already in the clearing, watching the tryouts. My mom and dad are over there, Albester says. He points with his horn. Ooh, Pearl whispers. They're wonderful. The two unicorns run side by side and leap into the air. The king and queen speak with each pair of unicorn that tried out. Albester and the weather fairies wait. The king and queen talk to each other. At last, the queen turns to the crowd. Our next lead unicorns will be the Quicksilvers and Lady Grey, she announces. Albester gasps. Those are my parents. The young unicorns gathered around Albester. You get to live in the palace stables, one unicorn says. You're so lucky, adds another. Albester says nothing. Once the other unicorns leave, Albester sighs. What's the matter? Haley says. Nothing, he mumbles. The fairies look at one another with concern. You must want to talk to your parents, Abigail says. Yeah, Albester says, kicking the dirt. We should head home, Crystal says. But we'll see you tomorrow. Early the next morning, there is a knock at the weather fairy's door. It is Albester's parents. Albester is missing. Albester is missing, Lady Grace says. We think he's upset about moving. We can't find him in this mist, Quicksilver explains. Can you help? Yes, the fairies says together. We would never go far. He would never go far, Crystal insists. He knows it isn't safe. We know all his hiding places, Evie tells them. We'll find him. The weather fairies fly over the foggy forest and land in the glen. Evie swirls her wand and the mist lifts. Goldie twirls her wand and the sun comes out. That should shed some light on the things she says. They look in Albester's fairies' hide and seek spots, but they cannot find him. Albester, the fairies call. Come out, wherever you are. Look, behind the tree, Pearl declares. The fairies peek around the tree and see their friend. Albaster, we are so glad we found you, Crystal says. Your parents are worried about you, Goldie tells him. They said you're sad about moving, poor lads. I am, Albaster sighs. I'll miss my herd, and I'll especially miss all of you. We'll miss you too, but we'll still see you, Abigail says. We are best friends. Promise? Albaster asks. Promise, the weather fairies reply. The fairies walk Albaster back to the herd. His parents are happy and relieved to see him. I'm sorry I ran off, Albaster says. We're glad you're safe, says his father. The king and queen join them. We hope you will enjoy living in the palace, Albaster, says the king. I think you will especially like the gardens, adds the queen. They are wonderful for hide and seek. Hide and seek? Albaster says hopefully. The queen smiles and nods her head. The weather fairies circle around Albaster and gave him a hug. We'll miss you so much, Abigail says. Will you visit me soon? Albaster asks. Of course, we are best friends, Evie says. Ready or not, here we come. The end.